Someone says workers called him to come to Marikana. It's not true, it's me who called.
Marikana happens, I'm in Polokwane. The workers say, where is that guy? We need that guy to come and listen to us.
Ngelo xesha kwangekho right eMarikana, sasingekabikho right, sasuyika kwamntu osuka kwi-political party. Kodwa bona ngokuza kwakhe uJulius Malema samamkela.
End of the day, they say to us, form a political party. We are tired, we don't want this. We think you need to form a political party, we'll follow that.
Besigqibo sagqitywa ngabasebenzi besithi Julius, vula i-political party yakho, uphume ku-ANC.
There is now a clarion call and demand from workers on the ground on what should be done differently.
The vanguard of community and worker struggle and will always be on the side of the people. We'll take over South Africa and we'll usher in the demands of our people. We'll fight against white supremacy and we'll fight for restoration of Black African dignity.
The massacre occurred on the 7th day of an unauthorized wildcat strike at the mine, which was lodged without the endorsement of the National Union of Mine Workers (NUM). The strikers sought a wage increase to be negotiated outside the existing collective wage agreement. Early reports suggested that they had been encouraged by the Association of Mine Workers and Construction Union AMCU. When the NUM refused to represent their demands and lawmen refused to meet with them, the mine workers launched the strike on the 10th of August 2012. On the 11th of August, senior representatives of the NUM opened fire on the strikers as they marched towards the NUM's office. 2 wounded strikers were wrongly reported killed, vastly heightening tensions. Between the 12th of August and the 14th of August, violence escalated among the strikers, the SAPs and private security officers employed by lawmen. During this period, 10 people were killed. 5 of them, 3 strikers and 2 SAPS members, were killed in a single confrontation on the 13th of August. In addition, 2 lawmen security officers were killed on the 12th of August, and 3 other lawmen mine employees were killed in isolated incidents for which strikers are presumed to be responsible. Failed attempts to negotiate a peaceful resolution were launched by SAPs in the leadership of both MCU and NUM. The massacre on the 16th of August was the result of the decision by SAPs forcibly to disperse the striking mine workers, who throughout the week had gathered on a public copy Afrikaans for a small hilltop neighboring the mine. The shooting took place at 2 locations, with 17 people fatally wounded at each location. The official figure for strikers injured during the shooting is 78. The lawman strike ended on the 18th of September with a wage agreement securing an 11 to 22% wage increase for workers. The strikers returned to work on the 20th of September. In the interim, however, similar wildcat strikes were initiated at other mines across South Africa. This wave of strikes led President Jacob Zuma to deploy the national military to the platinum mining belt in mid-September and collectively made 2012 the most protest-filled year in the country since the end of apartheid. In the aftermath of the massacre, 270 lawmen mine workers were arrested and charged with the murder of their colleagues on the 16th of August. The charges were ultimately dropped amid public outcry. An official commission of inquiry, chaired by retired Judge Jean Farlam, concluded its investigation in 2015 but was ambivalent in assigning blame for the massacre, criticizing the police's strategy and actions but also criticizing the conduct of the strikers, unions, and mine management.
Sorry, very sorry. Hii inakuwa ni sababu kidogo. Pole ndugu yangu, pole sana.
yenda ipangapangwe vandu wanja kama mzuri.
Hiyo nini imeteremka bila kuteremshwa, ikateremka itself, ni kama iko imefungwa, nafikiri imestrike, so bahati mbaya tu.
What is exciting violence when you walk? Huh? I don't have anything. I don't have a gun, nothing. I'm going to an approved meeting.
And what have they told you? That you're not...
No, they are blocking me. They are blocking me. They block the road. Who? What about you? What about you? Why are you speaking to him? You say you must isolate him and shoot him.
He was then chased from the informal settlement off Lonman's mine and out of town by the police. In a statement, they said they were determined to ensure the Regulation of Gatherings Act was not breached.
What makes me happy about the whole, they can say whatever nonsense they want to say. You said, Floyd, you never said anything about Floyd. You know why? He never dared to say that thing to me, on my face. He had access to me in private, in public. So why would I entertain such a coward? He never dared to say those things he's saying about me. He never told me, on my face. He never, if he's that strong and political, he never tried chances to remove me. And then they act all brave when they are outside. Come be brave, Let's see what's going to happen. Anything I had to say to them, I said it to them right on their faces.
Kondowe is not an honest organization. It's a family business of President Zuma for narrow benefit of him and his family. That is the fact of the matter. We tried to speak about that and no one can. We served in the leadership of Mkondo Sizwe at the highest level. With Magubane was the Treasurer General. With Lu that was writing all the documents. We can tell you, it would be treasonous if we don't tell the people of South Africa that there is no political organization called Mkondo Sizwe. It's a family stokvel for personal benefit. And if we don't tell the people of South Africa that, people will continue to want to support such. And they will say later on, why didn't you tell us? So we are telling the people of South Africa that there is no organization there. And how would we commit to want to put posters and campaign for an organization that is not a genuine liberation force of our people? And that is how we're going to characterize all organizations. We must always tell our people the truth. We can't go to the ground and tell lies. We must always tell the truth as to what is happening on the ground. The ANC has chosen to work with white people. We've got a Minister of Agriculture who does not know our areas, called John Steenhuisen. When Bushbuck reached yesterday, they were complaining that there was beginning to be some direction on agricultural support, but the Minister of Agriculture now does not know Bushbuck Ridge, does not know the people of Kwamhlang. And that is what the ANC has chosen. Every time he speaks about giving money and export opportunities to white businesses in Cape Town. Black people are now excluded from agriculture because the ANC went to work with oppressors. Because that is the vision that they are in pursuit of. Now, comrades, we have made the commitment that we are going to take up a political battle, but also a legal battle against this thing that governments are doing, that only those who are below the age of 35 are going to be given government jobs. We believe that such is not consistent with the Constitution and is not consistent with the law. So we are going to approach our lawyers and go to court to say that everyone must be given a job in South Africa, even when you're above the age of 35, as long as you can provide the work and the responsibilities that are expected from you. So that issue of 35 years limit, Mayibuye is opposed to it. We're going to oppose it effectively. If it means we go to court, we're going to go to court, because it can't be constitutional to only want to employ those who are below the age of 35. Because for the past 10 years, there's always been more than 7 million people unemployed in South Africa. And these are the people now who are 36 years old, 37 years old. Where are they going to get the jobs? But the permanent solution is that we must create jobs for all the people of South Africa in a way that is sustainable. Now, we are genuinely listening to the people to listen for guidance on what do we do differently. We are not coming with ready-made solutions. Archbishop Zondo is correct that we are not coming with ready-made solutions to come and tell the people of KwaNdebele of what their problems are. We are here to listen as to what we do differently. But one thing which we can make commitment on is that even just now with the collective that we have got far much better and clearer ideas on how we'll create jobs for our people.
Please. I'll be speaking here and you'll be reading a newspaper. Floyd.
News 24 reported a story on the 17th of August 2012, indicating that Floyd Shivambu went to Marikana before Malema did. The story reads as follows, link will be shared on description. Malema visits striking miners. Johannesburg expelled ANC Youth League President Julius Malema is expected to address striking workers at Lawman's Marikana mine on Saturday. Suspended League spokesperson Floyd Shivambu confirmed Malema would be at the mine at 11 am on Saturday. Shivambu visited the workers on Friday. The workers are determined to fight on. There is no talk of retreating. They are determined, he said. Meanwhile, the NCYL said the violence that erupted at Lawman's Marikana mine had been long in the making. The signs were loud and clear for all to see during the Impala tragedy, it said in a statement. We refused to see them. We were happy to accept then, as we did now, that the problem was trade union rivalry. The League said an exploitative mining regime. Capitalist greed and poverty were to blame. It also condemned the use of live ammunition in public order policing. We call on Minister Nathaim to conduct a full investigation to explain to South Africans how it is that police turned on our people and killed them, when the right to life is paramount. A total of 34 people were killed in a shootout that erupted near the mine on Thursday when police tried to disperse striking miners. More than 78 people were injured. Another 10 people had by then been killed in the violent protests at the mine over the past week. The protests were believed to be linked to rivalry between the National Union of Mine Workers (NUM) and the Association of Mine Workers and Construction Union (AMCU) over recognition agreements at the mine. Workers also wanted higher wages. What is your take? Who is lying? Who is telling the truth? Let's discuss on the comments. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
South Africa's Marikana mine, Julius Malema rallies strikers. The 6th of September 2012, South African activist Julius Malema says mineworkers must put down tools until wage demands are met. Amid a deadly dispute at a platinum mine, Mr. Malema is set to march with workers later at the Marikana mine, where police shot dead 34 people last month. The march is due to coincide with the release of more miners who were controversially charged with murder. The union involved in the conflict has refused to sign a peace accord with mine owner Lonmin and the government. The National Union of Mineworkers, NUM, which is allied to the ruling African National Congress, ANC, party, signed the accord. It commits miners to return to work on Monday, ending a strike that started on the 10th of August. However, the rival Association of Mineworkers and Construction Union, AMCU, and representatives of non-unionized workers refused to sign the accord, brokered by church leaders. They vowed to intensify their strike action by confronting those who report for duty. They say they will not return to talks until the topic of wages is on the table. Lonmin said the deal lays a firm foundation for the beginnings of the elimination of violence and intimidation. The company is the world's third biggest producer of platinum, most of which comes from Marikana. Group of thugs. Mr. Malema, who was expelled from the governing African National Congress earlier this year for indiscipline, had earlier called for striking workers to make the mines ungovernable, but he told the BBC's Newsday program that he was not calling for violence. People are just being sensational about the word ungovernable. I mean, they must put down their tools. I'm not calling for violence. I'm not calling for killing of anybody, he said. Workers must refuse to sell their labor. Enough is enough, unless capital is prepared to pay enough living wage. Earlier, the South African government said it would not tolerate any incitement to violence or what it called unwarranted provocation. Mr. Malema said foreign investors had stolen everything in this country. We are prepared to do everything to get back what belongs to us. He said the only answer was nationalization of the mines. Let's take our resources, let's pay mineworkers. Let's build schools for our children. We do not call for wholesale nationalization. We call for a majority sharehold by the state, with the participation of the private sector, he added. Mr. Malema, the former head of the ANC Youth League, was a close ally of President Jacob Zuma, but the pair have fallen out over a number of issues. Mr. Malema has accused the president of ignoring the plight of poor black South Africans since he came to power in 2009. In the BBC interview, he also delivered a warning to the ANC, saying it had been hijacked by a group of thugs, there for themselves and their families. He said he would take it back into its rightful place, the hands of the people. His critics say he has been walking on the bodies of those killed in Marikana to reignite his political career. Judicial inquiry. More workers at the Marikana mine are due to be released later, after they were charged with the murder of their colleagues who were shot by police. The decision to charge 270 miners arrested during the protests under an apartheid-era law triggered a national outcry, and the charges were dropped. The first group of detainees was freed on Monday, some accusing the police of shooting dead protesters who were begging for their lives or trying to flee. A judicial inquiry has been appointed to investigate the incident. A spokesman for the Independent Police Complaints Directorate, Moses Dlamini, told the Associated Press news agency that the directorate was investigating all allegations lodged with it and would report its findings to the Commission of Inquiry established by President Zuma.